Satan's getting jealous of the wolves. The demons say they preferring us. Books are not giving a fuck of what they referring us. Wolves, I know you heard of us. We're murderers and young enough to get the fucking priest to come and flirt with us. You niggas rap about fucking bitches and getting head. Instead, I rap about...
What's going on, boxing fans? Julian Williams here with The Distance. Got a video for you guys. Nagy Aguilera versus Tomasz Adamek. Bout takes place on March the 24th on NBC Sports. It's a heavyweight fight. Puts together two pretty much contenders. I don't know if I can call Aguilera a contender anymore. He's more of a journeyman than anything else. But journeyman against former title contender Tomasz Adamek. This is at a lot of eyes maybe on Adamek if you follow the sport as extensively as I do. You know, because this is Adamek's first fight since he lost to Vitaly Klitschko September of last year. So pretty much a lot of eyes are on Tomasz Adamek. Just pretty much see how well he does and how well he performs. You know, whether or not he's still damaged and whether or not he's damaged by the defeat from Klitschko, and to see if he can still perform at very high level. Before he gets back into the championship picture, I think they need to do the Tommy Gunn treatment with him, like what they did to what they're doing with Chris Arreola, and that's just continuously putting him in fights to where he wins and he builds his confidence up. And this is the kind of fight that may or may not build his confidence, but it's going to be a test for Adamek. It's a test because Aguilera, on the other hand, and I'll start off with him. Aguilera, on the other hand, is tall and he has a hard punch, but that's all he has going for him. He has one-punch knockout power, but not the skill that will lead up to that knockout. He can't really work his way into getting a knockout in a fight. He'll just, he's looking for that one big shot. As you can tell in his fights, he doesn't really know how to dictate the pace, but that comes with him. I believe he doesn't have an amateur career, but I think he just straight up started in boxing as a professional. So he doesn't really have an amateur career. And I believe at one time he nearly became the mandatory to the IBF or the WBC belt due to a victory over Oleg Moskayev in December of 2009. But just overall, he just has one-punch knockout power. But that's already been exposed by Sam Peter and Chris Arreola and even Antonio Tarver, who fought him in October of 2010. He just has that one shot going for him. So in this fight, he has to look to land that one shot on Tomasz Adamek. That's his only chance of winning this fight, is landing the one shot on Tomasz Adamek, or getting Adamek to be apprehensive and respect his power early. So I really think that Nagy Aguilera has to come in and he has to bum rush Adamek and actually just hit him. Naturally, he's the bigger fighter. He has more power in his right hand, and he's a lot taller. He has a size advantage. But I just think the only way that Aguilera wins this fight is just by looking for that one shot against Adamek. The one shot that he doesn't see coming that's going to pull him out. Kind of like that shot that Oliver McCall did on Lennox Lewis back in '94. He has to look for that one shot against Adamek, and that's his only hope of winning this fight. It's going to be very difficult to outwork Adamek because he's smaller, he moves a lot more laterally, and he does set up his shots on the outside. And does pretty good at doing that, being a smaller fighter. On the other hand, you have Adamek. Adamek, in this fight, has to look to counter. He has to look to counter Aguilera's punches because he does tend to drop his hands after he throws a punch or when he walks inside. He comes back and his hands are dropped. So in this fight, Adamek could actually possibly just stand in front of, and I don't know if his trainer, I think Roger Bloodworth, I believe his name is, I don't know if his trainer wants him to do that, being that Aguilera is a bigger fighter, but maybe Adamek can just come out and just stand in front of Aguilera and punch with him. It's a dangerous and risky move due to the fact that Aguilera could hit him with the one shot and pull him out. But I think that Adamek could possibly come in with bad intentions and try to take him out early. Stand in front of him, stand in the pocket with him, but look to evade his big shot and come back with a nice counter shot underneath his jab or underneath his big shot. Adamek could also just move on the outside, jab on the outside, and make Aguilera come towards him and look to counter him with the left hook, which he throws very well and gets a lot of leverage on. So pretty much there's a lot of stuff that Adamek can do that Aguilera cannot do. He wants to make Aguilera chase him throughout the fight. If he makes Aguilera chase him, and Adamek is fighting well off the back foot, and looks to land the straight right hand or the left hook as Aguilera is lunging in, I think Adamek can win this fight. So who I think is going to win this fight? I believe this is a 10-round fight. It's not it's not an eliminator, I don't think. But I just think that Tomasz Adamek has a lot more in the bag than Nagy Aguilera. Aguilera is taller, and I think he's going to impose his will early. But later as the fight progresses, I think Adamek makes adjustments and changes to where he's going to be able to win the fight. You know, set up his shots from parts of the ring, set up his shots from his angles, and move laterally and just stay on the outside. So I think Adamek will just take a decision in this fight, give himself some rounds, and kind of build his confidence up a little bit. I don't know if this is going to be the same Adamek we're used to seeing, because the Adamek we're used to seeing, you know, is very confident behind his boxing ability, and Klitschko's able to, you know, come over the top of his jab and just beat him to the punch and just outpower him. But I just think that Adamek should win this fight by decision. I think he's going to set up Aguilera from specific angles and set up his shots in the ring, and just make Aguilera chase him, and Adamek will just take it. Adamek decision. So anyway, peeps, that was The Distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Make you understand. That way I won't overstand. Let me tell it like it is.
Oh, it's holiday season, nigga.
Make you understand.